Okay, let's see if this is on. Okay, are there 2 people watching? If you're watching, can you please comment? Because this looks completely different from my end, and so I can't tell if this is actually working or not. Oh, that's crazy. I can see it on my phone. Okay, cool. Hi, guys. Okay, yay. Cool. Your comments are just now coming in. Thank you guys for joining. We'll wait like a minute or two, and then I'll start talking about some Disney Parks updates. Yeah. Let's see. I'll just wait like one more minute so we can get started, and so the people watching it back don't have to wait too long. Hey guys, you got to empty the dishwasher. Okay, I've cleaned my apartment the last 2 days, so it's finally like presentable. How are you guys doing this weekend? What's the weather like where you are? It's finally warm in Pennsylvania. It's weird. There's now like a transition to the seasons. So like on Mother's Day, it was literally like in the 40s, and now it's just like 80 degrees all day long. And it like never gets cool, like cooler than that. So like my air conditioning is running all night. I can't open my windows. It's really weird. John, you're in Pittsburgh. Is the weather the same in Pittsburgh as it is here in Central PA? I can't tell if just nobody's answering in the chat or if there's a delay on it. 84 degrees. Okay. So like the same here. Cool. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Stuff's coming in now. From rainy England, hello. San Antonio, Texas, cloudy, raining, and humid. Yes, thankfully it's like not humid here, which is nice. I don't know if we have a certain like humid season or what, because I have not stayed like the entire summer in Central PA before, but the May that I stayed here a couple years ago, it was pretty humid. So I don't know. It's not too bad right now. Rainy and 40 in Salt Lake, but 75 tomorrow. Okay, yeah. I don't know why weather changes so quickly. Anyway, okay, so it's been 3 minutes. We've got a couple of you watching. Thank you guys so much for joining live. Let me see. I took a picture. Where is it? Of my notes. Chloe, you're in California going to Disneyland. Yay, that is super duper exciting. I'm so glad Disneyland is open back up now. Yay, that's great. Okay, so I've got a few fast facts about some Walt Disney World stuff. We're going to talk about some things that are available or in the works at Disney World right now, and then some updates, a few updates about Disney College Program stuff, and then a little bit of reminiscing because it's the anniversary of when I did my summer alumni program, and it's also been 5 years since my first college program, which is insane. So first, kind of some fast facts, some changes to Disney. So Disneyland Paris is going to open up June 17th, 2021. So in about a month. So I know that's really exciting for people in Europe, especially because Tristan and I even have a friend who's in England and she's had to cancel. I don't know if she's had to cancel 1 or 2 Disney World trips, obviously because of like COVID and travel restrictions. I don't really know how open things are in Europe. Maybe our rainy England family can tell us about that. But yeah, anyway, so that will be opening soon. So that is very, very exciting. So Walt Disney World specifically now, so they have upped the capacity a little bit. So it was holding steady at 35%. The capacity has been upped a little bit more, especially following all of the CDC announcements last week about apparently we don't have to wear masks now if we're vaccinated. So they've changed some things. So capacity is up. It's still not at full capacity, but it is up, and guests do not have to wear masks when they are outside. There are a few cues for attractions or things like that, where even though it's outside, you do have to wear your mask just because you are then in closer physical proximity to other guests. But for the most part, you don't have to wear masks while you're outside at Disney. They have also removed the temperature checks. And I was even listening to a podcast recently, and the temperature guns, they're not really all that accurate. And at least one of the companies, again, I heard this on a podcast, the way the temperature guns are like made, they're meant to like return to like the average. So even if someone does have a higher temperature, it's going to try to like scoot it closer to the average. I don't know which brand of like temperature gun it was, but I have had my temperature taken with those a lot of times, and they're not quite accurate. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay. You cancel our trip this September to Disneyland Paris, but we're getting it now. Oh, because you'd be fully vaccinated by then. I'm not sure on masks, etc. for Disneyland Paris. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I know it's so crazy right now trying to make plans when you don't know what's open and what's not. My friend and I went to Asheville, North Carolina last week or 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, a lot of stuff thankfully was open, but then there were still several things that we thought we were going to experience and didn't. So it's fine because we still were like, you know what, we are like out of Pennsylvania, get to see something new. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to plan things right now. So another thing that I saw online today or this week is Epcot is testing a new fireworks show. So at Disney, whenever they're testing a new show or they're doing like stage show practice, or they have to practice, the Halloween parade or the Christmas parade or anything new, they will do it after the park closes. And oftentimes they're called overnights. So especially if someone, like I just said, is in like a parade or a stage show, as soon as the park closes for the evening, that's when they then go up on stage and actually learn all of their choreography, not learn it, but like practice it on the stage. So there are films, like videos online of what the new Epcot fireworks show looks like, as people having like filmed it from like outside the park. So who knows what it looks like inside the park. But a new fireworks show is coming. So that's exciting. Illuminations ended. I want to say it ended when I was there a couple years ago, but that doesn't sound right. That was quite a while ago when I was there last. So anyway, new show in the works. Very, very exciting. Next, at Disney, there is still, as we saw, like Festival of the Lion King opened up, but they're still trying to not have too many, attractions or meet and greets or things where you're getting in like close proximity of other people. So as of right now, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, as well as character meet and greets are still closed. Now, you guys know I have experience being a performer, and okay, so I got to hang out with like Mickey and Minnie a lot, right? So Mickey, he's like the face of the company, but really it's Minnie who's like running things behind the scenes, making sure Mickey is on time and looking professional and clean, etc. And so before they go out to greet guests each day, Minnie makes sure to pack 2 sets of gloves for each of them. So Mickey gets his 2 sets, Minnie gets her 2 sets. That way, halfway through the day, they can change them out and they are nice and clean for meeting the guests. And Mickey's gloves, at least, well, Minnie's too, halfway through the day, so after approximately like 3 hours or so of like full like guest meeting time, their gloves are gray. Their white gloves are gray. So being in close contact with guests, even though you think, oh, you're just like shaking people's hands, or like you're shaking the performer's hand or Mickey's hand, you're hugging Mickey and hugging Minnie, it's still oils and stuff transfer. So with that being said, I totally understand why they're still not doing character meet and greets right now. Let's see, what else do I have written down? So I feel like this is going to be a super short live stream, but that's totally fine. DCP news. So as we know, a couple weeks ago, the Disney College program applications opened up for those students whose programs were either canceled or postponed during 2020. And as of this week, the DCP actually opened up the application process to all college students. So now anyone who is in college or has graduated in the last 2 years can apply for the DCP. Disney is doing mass hirings right now. There was a recent photo circulating online from a recruiter. They had a traditions class of like 200 people at once. They held it in the ESPN zone at, not ESPN zone, Sports Complex, World. I don't know. I haven't been to that part of Disney World. But they held it in like this big gymnasium, basically. Yeah, like 200 people socially distanced doing tradition. So they are doing mass hirings right now. Pay is going up for both Disney College Program participants as well as regular cast members, which is exciting. I mentioned my friend and I just went to Asheville. And what I appreciated, we went on like a trolley tour. So we got to learn some of the history of the area. And two big names like lived there and built stuff there. And that's the Vanderbilt family and then also the Grove family. And what I really appreciated hearing about, they like treated their employees really well. So they paid them like way above whatever like the average pay was at the time. They offered them affordable rent. And they also offered them like a really easy access or really easy like pathway from like renting to ownership. And I think that's incredible. Like if you have the money, take care of your employees. So I'm glad that, Disney is upping the pay for cast members because it can get a little bit tight when like rent keeps going up and your pay stays the same. So I'm glad to see that. We have a question. Do the gloves come in different sizes? Nope, because Minnie and Mickey, they don't grow or change. They're the same size. They just have their one size of gloves that they have every day. So the pay is increasing. The rent is also increasing. So last time I talked about Flamingo Crossing is the new housing complex. And I actually have a picture of the rates. Someone posted this recently. So Flamingo Crossing is going to have a 2-bed, 2-bath, 4-person option. And in 2021, that'll be $175 a week. A 4-bed, 2-bath, 4-person for $195, so $20 more. But in that one, you each get your own bedroom and you only share a bathroom. Then the 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4-person, so each person has their own bed and bath, is $215 a week. But if pay goes up to, people have seen it be like $12 to $13 an hour. So if your pay is like $12 an hour, if your rent's $175 a week, then your first 14 and a half hours of work that week goes to rent. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're in the $175 rent, if you're in the 4-bed, 4-bath, 4-person, that's $215, so the most expensive one, and you get paid $12 an hour, then the first 18 hours of your work week goes to, to rent. So yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it is more than the other programs or than the other housing, but then also that pay increase, it does help. It makes it not as bad as before when I thought it was still going to be like $10 an hour and like $250 a week. So it is more affordable. And I think that's doable. That's still tough when it's like, okay, the first, 14 to 18 hours is rent. And then the next like 5 hours, you have to account for like taxes. But that should still give you about 20 hours, 10 to 20 hours a week of a paycheck's worth that you can like just have for you. Hopefully that all makes sense. Whenever I think about like paychecks, or like working during the week at Disney, I always broke it up into like, okay, the first part of my week immediately goes to like my bills, right? So like rent and then taxes. And then at what point in the week do I get to start like keeping that money? So that's just how my brain does it. However, the fact that it's just a single housing complex, Flamingo Crossing, this means that the bus system should be, I'm sure they'll find a way to make it complicated and confusing, but it should run smoother. So before, it was always really annoying when you, either while you were going to work or coming home from work, you'd have to stop at all the different apartment complexes, sit for 20 minutes at Vista Way, because that's where like the bus system, like that's where they would like take their breaks, and actually like the bus drivers would clock in for their shifts and like all of that. And so the fact that it's now just one housing complex, that should make this so much smoother. They should have plenty of buses for the parks at reasonable times. So my hope is that having one housing complex will make it so you're not then spending several hours of your day waiting for the bus and on the bus. So hopefully that actually makes the experience a lot better, because that was one of my, that is really difficult. It's difficult when it's like, okay, I only worked 40 hours this week, but I spent another 10 hours literally waiting for the bus or having to get somewhere an hour early because of the bus schedule, you know? So I'm hopeful that this will make it run a lot smoother. So those are my updates. A couple more things is that this week was the 5-year anniversary, apparently, of Disney Springs. At least that's what it said on their Instagram. I had no idea Disney Springs was that recent. That means that on my first program in 2016, Disney Springs was actually like pretty new. I know it was just called Downtown Disney before. I'd never been to Disney World before 2016. But yeah, so that has its 5th anniversary. Magic Kingdom is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. So exciting. I'm not quite sure all the changes they've made, especially because like COVID kind of got in the way. But they have updated the paint on the castle, so it's much more vibrant. They've got like ribbons across it as well. And the fact that this was like, it's the 50th anniversary, this means that my first college program was 5 years ago because, as I've said before, you guys have probably heard this, on the morning of the 45th anniversary, I was hanging out with Minnie in Magic Kingdom as the park opened on the 45th anniversary in 2016. So that's insane to me that it's been 5 years since my first program. I've done a lot in my life since then, but still crazy that it has been 5 years. And the Disney College Program, like if you guys are thinking about it, I highly encourage you to apply. You know what? I was supposed to send my friend the link to this. Let me send that to him really quickly. Sorry. Okay. But having done the Disney College Program still opens doors for me. People are always like really impressed to hear that you worked for Disney, and also, you know, says something about you that you have been trained to provide exceptional guest service. Generally, it means you're like a happy, peppy person. So if you want to do the Disney College Program, highly recommend it. I know it's crazy right now with like just the mass hirings. But if you don't get in this time, I do highly encourage you to then apply for whenever the spring applications roll out. Hopefully things will be a little bit back to normal, because I know the application process, no phone interviews and stuff right now, but that might get resolved once we move into the year a little bit more. Sorry, sending that to my friend real quick. Whoops, forgot to send that to him. Okay, so we are like 20 minutes in, so those are the ends of my updates, but I'll go through the chat now, because I do see a lot of questions. Thank you guys for like hanging out with me so far. Cheshire's top cat, are there any jobs that pay well in Disney World? So at the entry level, they're all going to pay the same. Quick service food and beverage, and I think some Magic Kingdom roles typically pay $1 more an hour than regular CPs. So like maybe CPs are getting paid $12 an hour right now, but if you get like quick service food and beverage and MK, then you would get paid $13 an hour. My friend's like, oh, it's happening now. It's been happening for 30 minutes, and I forgot to tell you. Trista! Hey! Anyway, okay, cool. Friends are popping in. That's exciting. So jobs that pay well, obviously, as you get promoted, you're also going to get pay increases. So there's that. Let me see. Do you recommend doing the DCP during the fall or the spring? I think both times would be magical. In the spring, you're going to have better weather. But in the fall, it's really fun because you get to see all of the seasons. So when I went the first week, I think it was still like regular like America Main Street. And then it quickly changed over to Halloween and then Christmas. So that was really magical getting to experience all of those extra events. And food and wine, but in spring, Epcot has festivals. And like I said, you're not there during hurricane season. So it really just depends on what's best for your schedule. For me, that ended up being fall. I've said it before, but I was on the quarter system in college. And so in order to only take 1 quarter off, instead of having to take 2 quarters off, I had to do the DCP in fall. So that is what worked best for me. Trista, will you be the maid of honor in your wedding? Of course I will. Oh, Nicholas, oh my goodness. Your name is so familiar. Hannah, what was your favorite part? What was your favorite part of the DCP? Honestly, okay. From a work perspective, while I was on the job, it was really incredibly magical getting to make memories for guests, getting to help guests out and be a part of this experience that is sometimes once in a lifetime for them. Sorry, my friend texted me. And but outside of that, meeting my friends and roommates and coworkers was definitely the best experience. When you see Trista's name going through here, if you're on my Instagram, she's a friend I met on the Disney College program, and I have now been down to Alabama 3 different times to see her. And yes, best friend Trista. Anyway, so I've made really great friendships. If you guys have seen Danielle on some of my vlogs, mainly when I went down in May a couple years ago just for vacation, she actually has another friend that lives, I'm pointing this way, she lives literally across the highway from me, at Penn State. So Danielle was visiting her and I got to see her at the same time, obviously. So yeah, making connections. And I was talking to someone recently about the Disney College program. And what's so great about it is you are surrounded by people who love Disney just as much as you do, who are willing to nerd out about all things Disney and Disney parks. And so it's really great to just get to be your full, authentic Disney fanatic self. Sorry. Okay. Wow. How long after traditions are cast members able to transfer from part-time to full-time? Is it hard to transfer from part-time to full-time? I saw this actually recently in the alumni group. Oh, does anyone on here know? I feel like you can do it as soon as you see an open position. Oh my gosh, Nicholas, you're making a fan club. Y'all are crazy. Have you tried the Cheshire Cat Tail? It's a Magic Kingdom. I have not. Have you? What is it? What does it taste like? Is that the marshmallow thing? Lola, I share a birthday with Disney World, and my parents are planning to take me on a trip there over Thanksgiving break. That's so exciting. I hope you have such a magical time. Wow, thank you guys all so much for joining. When doing the DCP, do you have Sundays off to be able to attend church? So when you go through the application process, you're able to say somewhere, and also like once you are hired and get there, you're able to say if you need religious accommodation. So in your case, you could say like need Sundays off to attend church. I know sometimes people have said, for, Sabbath, I can't work Friday from, sundown. Yeah. Until when is it? Saturday night or Sunday morning or something like that. So yeah, they do have religious accommodations if you need to go to church on Sundays, but it's not something they're just like going to give you if you're randomly like, hey leader, I'm a Christian, I want to go to church. Like there's a process that you have to go through, but you are told about it multiple times, like as you're going through the process. Trista, what is a super chat? It's where you can pay to send a chat, show your support with payment, and it like highlights the chat to make sure that I see it. Let's see. Still going through your questions. Thank you guys all so much. Your school is supposed to go to Disney. Sorry. Logan said his school is supposed to go to Disney in April. Fingers crossed that happens. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, that's a year away. So, oh my goodness. Hopefully we can all get vaccinated and get figured out by then. If you're not vaccinated, you should totally do it. I am vaccinated, have been for almost 9 weeks now, I think. So I'm like at the peak immunity, supposedly. Ooh. Trista is getting, can I share that? Trista is getting vaccinated on Wednesday. So y'all should get vaccinated too. In Pennsylvania, I know at the Walmarts, Trista had text message rates might apply. Very true. So I know that like our local Walmart, there's literally like walk-in COVID, not tests, what are these? Vaccinations. Other places now it's really easy to get, just make an appointment online. So, you're scared of shots. I know they can be scary, but you know what? It's better than dying in a hospital bed on a ventilator where no one can come visit you. That's how I look at it. Who's my favorite character to hang out with? I loved all of them so dearly. I loved Piglet a lot. I got to hang out with him doing character dining, and I really enjoyed that because I got to move around a lot. He's just like an anxious little thing, so people were really, really nice to him. Also, he's like almost nobody's favorite, so people would always want to spend a lot of time with like Pooh or Eeyore, but they're just like, oh, hey, Piglet, but didn't like love him. So it was nice to not be the center of attention when I was hanging out with Piglet. Just got a question. Let's see. What are you looking forward to most when we were out of this pandemic? Is it a trip to Disneyland? And Nicholas, I love you too. Yes, I am excited for a Disney trip. My sister and I wanted to go to Disneyland so bad. Not this summer, but last summer, like 2020, we were both like, we need a Disneyland trip. We have not been since my senior year of high school back in, end of 2013 is when we last went. So we're like, it is time to go. Sorry, I'm just seeing some comments. Yes, Trista, all three of us. Let's go. But yes, so Disneyland, Disney World, I need to see all of those again. I need to see all of those again. Oh my goodness. This has been so fun. What are you guys looking forward to when the pandemic has settled down? We're vaccinated and get herd immunity. What are you looking forward to? Thank you guys for joining. If you're joining a little bit later, the first 20 minutes were like the new Disney updates. Now we're just kind of chatting, looking at the chat, and we're just talking away, having fun. Oh my God, Ethan is here too. Wow, I'm feeling all the love, people. There's a couple people in the live stream that I actually know IRL, and it's really fun to see their chats. Thanks for joining, guys. 1 second. Ethan is your brother's name. That's exciting. Good name. Brenna, you want to go back to Shanghai Disney? It hasn't been a good option since 2019. Yes, I was reading something earlier. I don't know if this was true or not. But I read it was the first park to close and first park to reopen. And I was like, it was the first park to reopen? Okay, Trista, bye. Have a good day. Sorry, I got to answer this right back real quick. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm getting like co-presidents of the fan club. Love it. So exciting. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I feel like that's all the questions that I'm seeing. So let's see. Yes, Disney World is a big park. Can be exhausting. I remember there was one of our first days in the parks. I think it was after Traditions we went. So we didn't even start our park day until like 4 or 5 p.m. And by the time we left, it was like 1, 2 in the morning, and we had 16,000 steps, which was 8 miles. And it's like, wow. And that's a day that starts at like 4 or 5 p.m. So yes, those are definitely exhausting days. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the live stream. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know about any fun summer plans that you have in the chat or in the comments once I end the stream. Yeah, I'm glad that several of you were available to come. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Keep dreaming out loud, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.